Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, aka the Bod Father, and as always, I bring you guys awesome interviews, and today it is an honor and privilege to have Mikey Carvajal, the vocalist from Islander. Carvajal. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, man.
Mikey.
No, it's an interesting last name.
Mikey Carvajal, the vocalist of Islander. They have a new album that's out right now called Power Under Control. This is their sophomore album. I'm going to be talking to him about that. It's like I said, an honor and privilege to have you on here. Mikey, how's it going?
Doing well, man. Just finishing up this run today with I Prevail, Wage War, and Assuming We Survive, and then we're doing a show in Anaheim, California with Korn. So we're excited, man.
I just got to say, I want to kick this off, get right into this. I think it's pretty crappy that your guys' stuff got stolen, your gear. It's pretty low, man. This is the third incident in Texas here in the last couple of weeks that this has happened. So I hope they catch these dudes or women and put them in jail and do away with them.
Yeah, me too, man. It's a shame that kind of stuff happens, but like we've been telling everybody, we've just been trying to focus on the positives of it. We've received more love than people can imagine from our fans, and we think that it's definitely been turned around, and people are using it to spread good news rather than just the terrible situation. But I do want people to know that it's something that happens to tons of bands. It's not just Islander. It's an epidemic going on. So when a band comes to your town, make sure you're taking good care of them and loving on them, because they're living out here in these vans, and we're hustling, man.
I thought this was pretty cool. The new album title comes from the New Testament. How did that come about, and what led you to go that route of taking that and applying it to the new album title?
Does it come from the New Testament?
I thought that's what it thought it was.
It's power under control. The term meek, like the word meek does mean having power under control. But the album title itself just came from the idea of us as human beings being like horses that need to be broken and saddled so that their energy is not wasted, and they're not just a powerful beast with no direction, but instead now they have something bigger than themselves, smarter than themselves, controlling which way they go, so that they know what they're supposed to be doing, and they use that energy for a purpose rather than just wildness. And that's what power under control means for us.
What's impressed you the most about making the new album, Power Under Control? What's caught your eye, if anything, about it, man?
Probably just, being able to go and feel the magic from the studio again with our producer, Cameron Webb. He's just he's an amazing person. He's an amazing producer, and just working with him is always an honor. And he never tries to change what it is we do. He just likes to make it better, help us to focus on what it is we do well, and just continue that kind of process. And so I'd say working with Cameron is the thing that always impresses me with being in the studio, because the studio makes me uncomfortable. I get nervous in the studio, and I feel rushed sometimes. And Cameron, he always combats that really well.
I could see that happening, actually, being in the studio. I mean, I could see that being, feel like you're being rushed, because I guess you kind of are in a way to come up with stuff, I guess, recording time and things like that. And
totally. You only have like a lot of time. It costs money to be in the studio and to live in a different state for a month and a half and all that kind of stuff. So it's not easy, but it's definitely something that I have a love-hate relationship with. I love the final product. I just hate, that pressured feeling of being in the studio. And
oh yeah, for sure. So how was working with frontman from Bad Brains, HR? Didn't he guest on Think It Over? Was he on this album with you guys?
Correct. Yeah, he's done a couple songs with us now, and both times we've actually recorded through a cell phone. So called him, told him about the track, told him what it was about, sent it to him so he could listen to it. Then we just put him on speakerphone, held the phone up to the microphone in the studio, and let him go at it. And he kills it every time. He's a punk rock legend for a reason.
That's crazy though, just doing it on the cell phone over like that.
Yeah, dude, it's totally like it's the most. He's had some health issues and whatnot, so we couldn't really fly him out
right
where we were, and just easy for him to stay home. So the easiest thing to do is just his voice lends to that as well, that punk rock style, that hardcore old school reggae mentality. And I feel like just putting him through a phone like that, I mean, it's dope, dude.
Any songs off this album that stand out more to you than any if possible, man? I know it's like same picking your favorite car or sports team, but are there any that stick out more?
Yeah, I think the song Better Day, not just because it's a single because we love it so much, but that song definitely has a lot of meaning to me because we wrote it at a really difficult time financially and just with the emotions going on in the studio as a band. And then I think the song Wait For It, the last song on the record, that one just holds a lot of personal meaning for me. Yeah, I think that those two, I mean, I love the whole album, obviously. I'm not even saying those are my favorites, but if something's going to stand out to me, those as well as the track Beelzebub. So.
How much growth musically, Mikey, have you seen this band go through from the first album to the release of this new album?
I have to say that from a personal perspective. I saw this band go from, me sending emails on my computer, staying up late in a tiny apartment every night to tour in the country, with all these awesome bands that I grew up listening to. And yeah, man, I have no words to put into it. I think that no one will ever know exactly, how I watched it. It's like watching your kid grow up, I guess. Like, I've never had a kid, but I care about it like I would with my baby, this band, and I've watched it grow in that sense, just little songs I was writing in my bedroom to songs that thousands of people are singing back to me. So that's huge for me.
What helps you keep your mind fresh and open to new lyrics, guitar riffs, stuff like that you've not done before? What helps you mentally do this, man?
Definitely book. I would say reading has been a huge inspiration to me always with all my writing, like seeing, just going and like even opening a book and smelling the book. I know it sounds crazy because we live in a day and age where, the digital era, there's not really a scent to the art. But if you go and you pick up an old book or go in a library and, you open it and read it or even watching old movies, like, or even new movies or whatever, but just other people's art inspires me to create art because I get inspired by inspiration. So I'd say books and movies.
No, I get what you're saying when you take an old book and you open it up and you smell it for the first time. I know exactly what you're saying. It's like taking when you go to a store and you buy a compact disc CD and you open it up, or a cassette tape back in the day.
Yeah.
It's like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. And I wish it would go back to that, man.
It just smells like creativity.
In your own opinion, Mikey, what do you hope the fans take away from the new album? Once they start to listen to this or have been listening to it, what do you hope that they get from it?
Hope. I think hope's the whole message of the record. It follows a character from darkness to light. It's a concept album in that sense. And I hope they just realize that, there is hope. And no matter how dark you've lived your life or how, what crazy things you've done, you could be forgiven for them. So I hope that's what people find in this record, hope.
What can fans expect at a show from the Mighty Islander once they come out to see you guys live, man?
Well, that all depends on the crowd. I always let them know, if you come out to see Islander play, I don't want you to look at us like we're the performers on the stage. I want the crowd to realize that as much fun as they are willing to have is how good the show's going to be or not, because it has nothing to do with the bands on stage. We can throw our guitars around and do our thing all day long, but it's just practice until the people show up. So it's always about the people. So
let's talk about the digital era that we're living in right now. Do you like this to get your music out quicker, or would you just prefer to do 2-inch tape if you've ever done it before, maybe?
I think that the digital era is cool in the sense that there's more ways to get your music out, and I think it's not cool because now everything's oversaturated. I feel like, every single person could put out a record, and as cool as that is, it makes it more difficult to sift through the records that mean something. So,
in your own opinion, what does Islander bring to the table for music that's not out there right now, Mikey?
Rawness. Yeah. A lot of bands, they're not writing their own music. They're getting help in the studios from writers, and they're also playing, just to tracks, like a lot of the bands that are out today. And for us, we get on stage, and if the guitar messes up or the vocals mess up, it's on us. But at least we know that we had integrity and we were creating the music ourselves rather than lip syncing, and also the fact that we write our own music. There's not somebody, telling us what to do in the studio. So that's where I think we're different.
I think a lot of bands are afraid to even say, hey, look, let us do it, and afraid to go outside the box too.
Yeah, totally. And that's the thing. Like, if you're an artist, first of all, you should be the one creating the music if you call yourself an artist. And second of all, if you're an artist, you're going to want to get creative and weird and create things that try new things, so to speak. You don't want to do the same thing over and over.
What made you want to become a musician? What was that spark that said, that's exactly what I want to do?
Went and saw a band called Ludacris, who later changed their name to Norma Jean. But at the time, the original singer, Josh Scoggin, he climbed into a basketball goal and like went through it and was like hanging upside down from it. That's what made me want to be in a band.
That's crazy. That's cool.